this performance, right, was summed up how good Liverpool is versus to how bad City were. Liverpool were dominant. They were moving the ball fast. They were quick. They pressed. Trent got dribbled past a lot of times. But at the end of the day, the essence, right, is 66, 4 and 11, their contracts are up. End of the year. If they win the title this year, right, is that it? Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Futbol Kaki, brought to you by the Chit Podcast Network. I am your host Elder and I'm joined by my fellow Kaki bro Paul. Paul, how are you doing, brother?
I am doing good. Apart from football, I think not too bad. Not a bad weekend, but don't count the Saturday night game. But then I think pretty much quite a good, relaxed full weekend. How about you?
I had to work.
You had to work.
Yeah, I had to work. Then I rushed home to watch The Disaster.
You should next time don't rush, bro. Next time just take your time.
I think next time I should just measure my peace. I will not mention the club for a while.
Just go home at your own pace, you know.
Yeah, as you can see behind me, right, I got the Juve jersey. The jersey behind is the club that shall not be named. The one in the red and white.
Yeah. Speaking of Man United, right, I think like over the weekend, Ryan Giggs was in Singapore.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah. He was promoting the BYD, some BYD event, right?
BYD event is like the BYD, like their football, like training stuff and everything like that. But I mean, it's Giggsy lah. So
yeah, I said like he's fallen off a lot from social media attention for quite a while already. Right?
Yeah, because he kena all the scandal, man.
The scandal, yeah. But I think it's good to see that like companies are still willing to work with him, which is good, you know.
Because
apart from his scandals and all that.
Apart from the scandals, he's still a very good footballer. At that time, right? But I feel like I'm more looking forward to this week because F1's returning.
Finally,
testing is starting in Bahrain, right? Then they did like the F1 75.
I saw it. I saw the highlights about it last week.
Yeah, they released,
but I felt right. It was so British centric.
Of course, bro. It's done in the O2 arena. What can you expect?
I find that their two hosts was like. Those wannabe British comedians, right?
Yeah.
Which like jokes were like totally not funny at all. Did you hear about the joke? What they said Tsunoda is like the short kings, you know?
Yeah.
You need to walk faster because your legs are too short or something.
Correct.
Like that. I felt it's very unnecessary.
No, it's very British humor, but it's also quite annoying because I feel that like they are trying to do too many things in an event that basically should have just been about the cars.
It's like they're trying to make it like Las Vegas, you know?
Yeah,
like trying to throw in more marketing and entertainment. Try to Disney-fy the F1, right?
Yeah, and it's a bit annoying, but to me, I didn't really care because the whole show was like maybe about 2 hours plus.
I only
cared about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I just want to see the livery and all that, right?
No, it was bro. The livery I don't bother lah because the Red Bull livery looks like Red Bull livery. The McLaren livery looks like McLaren livery, right? I only wanted to see basically whether or not, right, how the crowd will react to the Ferrari.
Oh, yeah lah. Majority of it was because of Hamilton fans lah, you know, British fans, yeah.
Correct.
So, I mean, you can expect to see that more this season. And on the topic of Hamilton, right, like, I want to ask you, like, how much are you looking forward to seeing him perform in the Ferrari show?
Honestly, right, like, I feel that, okay, one is he's 40 already, yeah. The only driver that's older than Hamilton is Alonso.
Yep.
So that's one. But I feel that in Ferrari, right, there's just something about being part of Tifosi that is nothing like anything else. But I also feel that he will also get a certain level of stress.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro.
Because the pressure is the highest. I feel that like Mercedes pressure will never compare to Ferrari.
Because it's like basically like in football terms, this is Man U lah.
Can say so, but I would say
like the attention is always on you. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. And then
even
the pressure to perform is even more.
Correct. So it's also that, but I also feel that it's because of the history and the heritage, right? Like Ferrari is racing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if Ferrari is like racing, no matter how much of history that Red Bull has or McLaren has, right? When you think of F1, what's the first thing you think of? Ferrari, right? So like the understanding of it, but I feel that it's slightly different because like, the past 2 years Hamilton looks gone, he looks tired, everything, right? Yeah. I think this year he looks energized lah.
No, it's
But I
like
don't.
more just a new environment,
Correct.
where he can feel like refreshed and all that. Yeah, but I do feel that it's good for Ferrari brand itself. Like I know that apparently like their stocks went up quite big when he announced
Yes.
he was going to Ferrari. Right? So it's good for him as well. It's like saying like Ronaldo went back to Man U again,
Yeah.
and then the stocks went shoot out again. Right? Yeah, so
Correct.
yeah, we shall see lah. I think it's a very interesting thing to see Ferrari and Hamilton together. So basically, they had if the brand Ferrari right has 2 7-time world champions.
Yeah. But
Right.
he's also said that like the car is gonna take some getting used to lah. Because the engine
Oh yeah,
this
for
is the
sure,
first
bro. It's like in any job, yeah.
but because it's also the first time like he's driving an engine that is not Mercedes powered. So like
And
I feel that when he
certain
did the
aspects he cannot modify because
Correct.
I know Mercedes and McLaren last time he was able to give inputs, then
Yeah.
they tweak the car to his liking, right? But I know Ferrari don't do that, right?
no Ferrari do it according to what they feel is the right direction and plus input from the driver. But I'm hoping that because I do think Hamilton and Leclerc their driving style is a bit similar in a sense. But just that I think if they're similar is a good thing because they're probably gonna feedback the same thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
whereas like if let's say you have drivers with contrasting styles, right? Whose setup do you give priority to? Whereas like if let's say it's similar, right, or close to it, like maybe let's say for example you're talking about 50 to 60 to 70%, I think you can compromise on the 30% and then you can just work out what is going to be on 60%. But I'm looking forward to the season. Testing begins Wednesday, like afternoon or the day that this episode comes out lah. So we shall see. I just don't want McLaren to win because before I hated Red Bull, I hated McLaren.
Yeah, and I don't think as a Red Bull fan, I don't think Red Bull will win. So it's I openly say now. I think it just doesn't look in very dominant position, which is good for the sport actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
But let's see lah. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, right, we are a football podcast. So welcome to the Football Kaki. I'm your host, Eldad. That's Paul. We are together every week talking about football. Right. Last week we talked about our club, but this week we are trying not to do. We are not going to do that. Not we're trying not to do. We are not going to do it. Today what we're going to do is we're going to have, of course, our what's going on.
Yep.
By Paul. We have our match recap, which is Manchester City versus Liverpool, with an EPL Roundup. And of course, moving forward to our match of the week, which so happens to be on a Thursday this week, because if I'm not mistaken, the FA Cup is at the weekend. Where the match of the week is Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal, where a title could be at stake.
Yeah.
A title could be at stake. So, bro, to begin this episode, what is your what's going on?
Yeah. So on the topic of EPL, right?
Yes.
This is the beauty of a league. Okay, so my what's going on this week is, would you take a look at the table, right? From 3rd place to 10th place.
Yes.
Or 9th place, actually. So it's 3rd place, we have Nottingham Forest at 47 points. And then 9th place is Brighton at 40 points. So
Yes.
you're telling me that in between 3rd and 9th, right, there is like 6 teams within reach of each other.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like Nottingham Forest 47, Manchester City 44, Newcastle 44, Bournemouth 43, Chelsea 43, Aston Villa 42, Brighton 40. Okay? So what's going on? I thought previously Nottingham and Man City were running away with it, with the top 4. So now the top 4 race, right, is blown wide again.
Yep. Because City lost.
And Nottingham lost also.
Yes.
Yes.
So
So-
basically, Nottingham didn't capitalize in the past few weeks.
Yeah, if they had won, right, they will be like 3 points behind Arsenal.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is like within reach, just waiting for Arsenal to slip up. But then suddenly you see Nottingham Forest become second.
Actually, they were close because they lost back to back.
Yeah, they lost to Fulham and then Newcastle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's quite, maybe they're starting to show a little signs of crack, Like they had a very good first half of the season and like maybe a few games after that. But in 5 games, they lost 3 games. So yeah, starting to show a bit of a league fatigue maybe.
Maybe yes and maybe no, right? Because honestly, Nottingham Forest are overperforming everybody.
Overperforming, yes, you're
They're
right.
overperforming what many people expected of them. So they are
Yeah.
actually, honestly, a lot of us had them on the bottom half of the table, closer to relegation rather than in 3rd place. So it's something that is a bit more out of the ordinary for them, I feel.
Yeah.
But like the problem is that everybody's so close and everybody's so tight, right? That a swing can happen either way. So let's say we talked about Nottingham Forest lost 2 games, right? Brighton won 4-0. Then Aston Villa won.
Yep.
Newcastle won.
Newcastle won at beat Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, so Newcastle won, right? So essentially, everything is just like going haywire already. Then there's like
Which is good because it's like the chaos of a league.
Correct.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say we shall see. I feel maybe like in the weeks to come because there's still 12 games left, and then
Yep.
you see there's a resurgent Aston Villa.
Yeah,
After
and Bournemouth
losing
lost.
so many games. Yeah, Bournemouth lost, correct. To
Bournemouth
Wolves.
lost.
Yep. So all these teams that could have won and capitalized, they didn't really do it.
Yep. So
Hmm.
it was a situation where everybody the teams that were expected to win lost, and the teams that weren't expected to win won.
As in Newcastle was expected to win.
Yeah, Newcastle was expected to win.
Yeah,
Because Newcastle
Nottingham
generally is a better team than Nottingham Forest overall. Let's just read out the scores. So aside from the top few, is basically Leicester and Brentford played.
For-
Brentford won 4-0. Another loss for Leicester. I think Avian's gonna get it, bro. Either that, he should just leave the
I
club.
think you just
It's not-
resign, yeah.
It's just not good environment, right? Everton drew with Man United 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Bournemouth lost to Wolves 1-0. Ipswich Town kena trashed by Spurs 4-1. Brighton beat Southampton 4-0. West Ham beat the Gunners 1-0. Crystal Palace beat Fulham 2-0. Villa beat Chelsea 2-1. Newcastle beat Nottingham Forest 4-3. And then, of course, to round up the weekend, and our big game, which we're going to talk about right now, is Manchester City versus Liverpool. So, to close off the what's going on, right? I'm going to ask you this question, right? Who is getting the fourth Champions League spot? Or who is getting the Champions League spots? What's your prediction?
Bro, if you ask me this next week, right, maybe I will have a different answer. Because now I will still say it's like Nottingham and Man City. But in space of 2 games, I think can swing.
Yeah, I agree.
So honestly, if I take away any opinion, just based on what I feel will go Champions League, right? I still feel City and maybe Newcastle will get in. Then maybe Chelsea and Aston Villa will get the Europa and Conference League spots.
You think Nottingham Forest will drop out?
Bro, they only need to. They are playing Arsenal next.
Yep.
And then they just need to lose 1 game. Then everyone will catch them.
They played Nottingham Forest and Man City back to back.
Yeah. So I think their time has come to truly to neutralize their position in the EPL.
Yep.
You cannot overachieve all season, You get what I mean?
But if
They're
they
not Leicester.
overachieve this season, right, it'll be as
No,
good as
in
good
any
as
result, right? They already overachieve.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So there's no way that they are. I don't think they will overachieve all season.
Fair. All right. So, since we are on the topic of EPL, right, and we spoke about Man City, right. The big game of the weekend was, of course, Manchester City versus Liverpool. With Liverpool beating City 2-0 at the Etihad.
Was it really a big game?
Technically, it's supposed to be a big. It's
It
supposed to
wasn't
be the
a big
bigger
game,
game.
yeah.
It's the biggest game of the weekend
On paper.
on paper.
Yeah.
Yes, but honestly, right, this was a. Oh, this
Bro,
was so. This was so one-sided.
it's what Man City did to Man U at Old Trafford, but Liverpool do to City.
Okay, fair.
Maybe not so dominant, but
Not so dominant, right?
but in the same manner.
City lose at home again is one thing. Can I just say, right, before I get into the nitty-gritty of this, right, the first goal, right, by Salah is probably one of the best work set pieces I've ever seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
Bro.
I mean, you don't count the Arsenal set piece as a set piece.
No.
This is what a drill that really works, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is short pass.
Short pass
back,
along the line.
Along the line.
The byline to Szoboszlai, and then he just lay off to.
He lay off to Salah, right? And when it just went into the net. It's really a very nice, very well thought out, well set up goal. It's very Liverpool-esque. I think the set piece that everybody...
It doesn't feel forced, right? Yeah.
Yes. I think the set piece that reminds people of Liverpool is the Barcelona set piece. The quick corner kick, right?
Yeah.
The quick corner. So it's stuff like that, right, that you associate Liverpool with. Whereas Arsenal, it was the point, it was I'm just going to do my best to just get bodies into the box and just get one header, right? This is a well thought out, well executed play.
It's good, it's a good play. Yeah, I agree. And it's when I saw it, it's this City got caught sleeping,
Yep. Then Szoboszlai scores a relatively simple goal. I don't think there's much to say about that, right? Liverpool had a Curtis Jones goal disallowed, right? But I got a question. Was Szoboszlai offside or not for that goal? Should it have been 3-0?
It was fine margins, bro. I felt it could have been 3-0 either way.
Yep.
Yeah. Or it's those kind of decisions of fine margins where they have to see the last finger or something like that. Yeah. But okay, either way, it didn't really hamper Liverpool's result,
Yeah. I do agree, right? But I've got to bring this up. We'll talk about Liverpool later, right? But I've got to really bring this up down to this question, right? How do you describe Manchester City at this point in time? they really don't look like a team that is going to be in title contention moving forward for the next couple of years. If they're in this current state. That's one thing. The rebuild has already begun already. But are they good enough or not?
No, the rebuild is not even done. I think they will have to ship some players out.
No, not done. Begun.
Yeah, for sure. So I think next for them, right, is in June they have to go. They will release those players that contracts are expiring.
Yep.
So it's a long list, I think it's like De Bruyne, Ederson, Bernardo Silva, Stones. Then I also heard this rumor that in the past week, right, Pep Guardiola went to talk to those players who are like injury prone. Pep and the club, So I think it's like either you take a pay cut or
you leave.
Find somewhere else. Yeah, which I feel like certain other clubs should have already done this. It's like really, it's like true. You don't perform, you deserve to get the chopping board.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the only way forward for Pep. I think he overstretched this core group of players really. Literally overstretched. Yeah.
I think what he wanted is maybe because at Barcelona, right, a lot of them were older. There were some that were come group thing, and Bayern also some of them were older or getting
and this is the first time, right, where we seen Pep more than 6 years. It's like 7 or 8 years already,
No,
now.
it's like 7 or 8 years is one thing, but it's the first time he hasn't left when the team is about to capitulate.
Yeah. No, and we are really seeing like in the first time what can he do with the same players for like 6-7 years.
Yes.
So at Barcelona he had like the Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta for X amount of years, right? Which is not very long, so maybe like 4-5 years.
Yep.
Then he went to Bayern also about 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
And then he came here, right? So now here his stint is like the longest stint he could find lah. But then if you're still relying on players like De Bruyne all this, I think cannot lah. De Bruyne played when I was like before I even went uni. When I was still in the army.
It's the question becomes, right, like who is going to replace those positions? Who can give?
Bro, I can name. It's just whether they got the funds to buy. No?
Okay, because the thing is, right, like this is what I'm seeing. Like I've seen articles or people saying that like the 115 something's going to happen. Okay, these are some of the suppositions, right, of the things that I heard is that the reason why City spent 250 million in this window, right, because there could be a chance of a pending transfer ban.
So they faster buy first.
Because it may be 2 windows, it may be 4 windows that they cannot buy anybody. So if you do that, essentially the players that they want, right, may not be there by the time the transfer ban is already executed, because they really don't know what is going to happen with the 115.
That's good for them. That's good for us. I mean, yeah,
it's good for us. Or 115 or the 130, because they got 15 extra charges, right? So it's a very are you building based on the fear of something may happen in the future? Or are you building based on what you think you can get now? Which I feel like is like they're grasping at straws. Because you really don't know what's going to happen. Unless
but I feel that
people know something
generally
that we don't know.
they bought players because the team was like fading.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
That one I agree.
Whether or not the charges come, we will never know. Because it's been how many years already? 2 years, I think, since the thing, and nothing has happened. So,
no, but they're giving the verdict end of the season. They already said it already.
Okay, then we shall see on that. But either way, no excuses for their performance. I think they're on a downward spiral.
Yeah.
That title's likely gone for them. Most likely gone. 100% gone already.
It's 100% gone. And I think the commentator said is the Bruyne shot before the end of the first half, right, basically summed up Manchester City in a nutshell.
It's true. And then you have to recall players like Gundogan or this, then it'll be sad for you lah.
But it's like Rodri is that key to a point where the whole team capitulated, man. I think it's more than a Rodri problem already.
It's like he's been saying the Rodri and the number of games, blah blah blah, all this, Yeah, but if everyone's doing it, just sit down and shut up, lah. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Postecoglou got worse, like heavier injuries, right? But okay, so we've talked about City, right? Where do they stand now, in your opinion? Before I move on to Liverpool,
I think just top 4 or win the FA Cup. Yeah.
Any chance of winning a league title in the future if they really saw the players?
If they don't have transfer ban, I think it's fine. Because De Bruyne out, just get someone like Musiala in. Then you can slowly rebuild. But as long as Pep is there, you always have a chance. You get what I mean? Yeah. When Pep gone, that's it. Yeah.
But Pep already renewed his contract, what? I think for another 2 years.
Yeah, and then they're keeping Haaland for an additional 10 years.
Who signs a 10-year contract?
Maybe the money that they pay you is quite mouth-watering.
But 10 years, bro. Nobody signs a 10-year contract.
No, either way, no. If you want to leave next time, the other club has to pay. What you don't have to
Right.
fork out. You get what I
Right.
mean? Yeah,
But I mean, like, only FIFA has 5 years, what?
yeah, lor.
So who
Unless
signs a
you
10 year contract?
renegotiate 5 years, another 5 years.
You
Surely.
who you renegotiate at 5 years, then who has another 10 year contract? Okay, but speaking of Liverpool, right? I think that
Oh,
okay, I have to say this right. They're the best team in England right now. That's a fact.
yep. Most consistent team.
Most consistent team because they've only lost one game. They're good and sound defensively, right? But I also feel like they're benefiting from a season whereby everybody else is capitulating around them.
It's just
So
City and Arsenal.
it's just no. But the thing is that it's the two title contenders that were
Yeah,
supposed
as in you're benefiting from when your contenders are like
like
shooting
capitulating.
themselves. Yeah, correct lah.
Correct.
That's right.
So the question becomes right, like if they win the league title this year, right, is that it? Because
What?
okay, this
as in-
this performance right was summed up how good Liverpool is versus to how bad City were. Liverpool were dominant. They were moving the ball fast. They were quick. They pressed. Trent got dribbled past a lot of times. But at the end of the day, the essence right is 66, 4 and 11. Their contracts are up end of the year. If they win the title this year, right, is that it?
As in, is that it for them?
Is that it for this group? Because it means that if let's say for example Salah decides to go somewhere else, right? Van Dijk decides to go somewhere else. Right? Even if you keep Van Dijk, but Trent will definitely. I think Trent's leaving. So if you do keep that, right, can they replace the production of Salah?
Yeah, I think that's the Salah one is still a very big question mark because he and Van Dijk they haven't and Trent haven't settled their thing right. So I'm thinking right they are not focusing on that first because
Yes.
the key is to win the league first lah.
Yeah. It's
Bro,
fair.
if you tell me if I win one league and then I'll have to let my star player go at 33, right, I will do it, man. Yeah, yeah, we let Ronaldo go, but we still haven't won a league after that, But maybe one or two times only after that.
We won two after that.
But it's like we still can do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for Liverpool is yes, you will miss a good player like Salah with his like 25 goal inputs, I think.
Yeah.
And like 15 assists. Yeah. So I think it's quite tough to replace someone like that, for sure.
Yeah. I
But
agree.
then at the same time, if your club stands by its values and policies, right, then I think you all have to do it. Don't be another club that gives player overgive too much,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Because like at the end of the day, they are looking at number 20. This is number 20. So it will basically tie them with Manchester United because they were 2 titles lesser than Manchester United. They could have already had more than 20 if they didn't face a very heavy Man City. Yeah. So if this were the case, right, is there added motivation for them to stay to get number 21 should they win number 20? Because honestly,
I think if they keep Van Dijk and if they sell Salah and Trent, right, I think still okay because the core of the players are the same.
Yeah.
And then most likely if Salah goes, right, you probably get someone like Rodrigo in.
Yeah.
Which is okay, but definitely you have to reinforce the attack. I feel if Salah goes, you have to find 1 or 2 players to make up that 25 goals.
But you think Rodrigo will come from Real Madrid?
Depends on who Real Madrid buys. Because now at the moment it looks okay because the squad is okay, right? Like maybe if Haaland were to go there, like what the rumor was actually,
Yes.
then they will have to move But okay, then maybe not. Then you have to find someone to replace Salah
Yeah.
But that one is another big if for the summer. It's just whether he stays or not. But then they themselves, I feel that they're not even thinking about it yet. They just want to win the league first.
I would think so, but just that sometimes you just can't help but speculate.
No lah. You see, we didn't even like if you will say focus on the league first. Never mind. As long as he's firing now, right? Just let him do it first.
Yeah.
You want to throw all this spanner up in his head now, I think he will lose focus.
I agree. That's fair. That's fair. But like, let's look at the EPL table, right? Because Arsenal lost to West Ham. So now, right, it's an 11-point gap. 11-point gap, right? With 11 games to go. Arsenal have a game in hand, but they have to play Nottingham Forest.
That's why if like even if they clear the game in hand, it's still 8 points, which is still quite a big gap. Yeah.
Correct. But if they lose to Nottingham Forest, right, I think it's done already. Because
Liverpool will be 11 with the same games played, right?
Yeah. Because Liverpool got to play Newcastle.
Mm.
And Arsenal's basically title hunt is down to this particular game that is coming up. But I will look at it this way. So it's 11 points ahead of Arsenal, right? 17 ahead of Forest, 20 ahead of City.
You just look at Man City's total, right?
Yeah.
Their current points now is 44. So if you plus 12 games will get you 36 points. Yeah. So you plus 36, right? 80 points. City just need 16 points to eliminate them from the thing.
Correct. So basically, it's another 6 wins.
Yep.
6 wins more, then they can eliminate this whole.
You have a new champion this year. Yeah.
You have a new champion already. So I don't know, man. Like I look at it more towards like 11 points is still not safe until you get to like
34,
like
35
match day
games.
34, match day 35 already. Then it's kind of like it's closer already because you need to get the match day 34. Then I think if you get 11 points, I think you're safe. You just need to get a draw, then you win the title already.
That's right.
Yeah, because as we know, 8-point gap can make you lose the title.
8-point gap with 4 games to go.
8-point gap with 4 games to go can make you lose the title. You just needed to win one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You just needed to win one game, guys. One game.
Even the Arsenal 2 seasons ago, right? Or was it last season? 2 seasons ago. They were like leading by 11 points or something like that. Same situation now.
Same situation, right?
So be careful, of the trailing team.
Be careful, right? Don't get too ahead of yourself, Liverpool fans, right? Because anything can happen. But we will move on to your closest rivals in the title race. It is on a Thursday night in Singapore, more like Thursday morning. Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal, second versus third.
Who's home?
Forest. At the City Ground.
This should be another tough game for us.
This will be hard because I do think that Nottingham Forest at home is a really good team. And Arsenal got no striker.
Then the Skelly is suspended.
Skelly got suspended. Bro, he got 2 red cards.
In 4 games. He did the Haaland hat-trick, right?
Yeah.
Haaland celebration. Then they put the 2 red cards. Someone cropped the 2 red cards. It's like funny how life gets back at you,
Oh, bro, like some of the stuff that Arsenal does, right? You cannot make it up, bro. It's just,
bro. It's like there's a reason why people like City fans are supporting Liverpool to win it now.
So like basically Nottingham Forest have already overperformed far more than expected. Chris Wood has had an unbelievable season. Ilanga has had also a very good season also. So the whole team, I feel like as a whole, right, they are very united as a team. Like it's a team. Like everybody plays for one another, right? But with Arsenal, right, I feel like it doesn't feel that way. There's an over reliance on certain things, right? And now that because Havertz is injured, you don't really have a striker. You can't rely on Raheem Sterling. Yeah, can they actually be considered done after this? Because honestly, like even if let's say they will do this, they still got to play. They're playing Man United next, which I don't really have a lot of faith also. Then on top of that, right, they have to play Chelsea then Fulham. So it's like the next 4 games can basically decide whether or not like Liverpool win the title earlier or not.
I feel that given the situation and scenario they have now, I think it's very tough. They don't have their first team to gun for the title.
Yeah.
To gun for a title charge. It's honestly it all favors Liverpool now. Everything points towards Liverpool now. Yeah.
Correct.
It's like if they don't win it, right?
It's the biggest mess up in EPL history.
Yeah. I would think it's the big in this scenario, it's the biggest mess up.
It's
like can say like they bottled it like Arsenal, right?
Correct. But okay, but if let's say Forest win, right, does that mean that Forest actually have a chance of finishing second?
Why not? If they win, they'll be 3 points behind them.
Yeah. So if Forest finish second, right, does it mean that Arsenal will fall out of the top 4?
Hey, if Forest win, then you drag the second team back into second to 10.
Yeah.
I think around there, just the battle,
So basically, there's a chance that if let's say everything goes south, right, Arsenal will end up in the bottom half of the table.
No lah. that will take a miracle.
They're close by.
Not that far away.
Because you think about it, right? If they lose any 2 of the next 4, right, is a flip, eh?
Yeah, if 2 of the next 4, but then you see if City win 2, it'll just be 50, ma. They're still ahead. They're having 53 points, so I don't think they will drop that far much. At most drop
fair
the
point.
Point. That's
fair
all,
point. Fair point. So, bro, predictions?
Forest win 1-0, bro.
Forest win 1-0.
Yeah, I like to spice it up.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go with a Forest win also 2-1. So yeah, I feel like
not bad. You believe Arsenal can score.
Sometimes you gotta believe. Believe. You gotta believe, bro. Like, honestly, I feel that they can get goals from somewhere.
Like defender, maybe set piece.
Defender, whichever, a set piece, right? But long term wise, I don't really see them beating Forest, especially with the way that they're playing and the form that Chris Wood has, right? Like, is a proper striker, lah. Forest have a striker, lah. Yeah, bro. Anything else to add before we finish up?
Let's do it, brother. I think it's over.
Okay.
F1 testing soon.
Yes, F1 testing soon. So, alright, so that is it for this week's episode of the Futbol Kaki. Alright, so that is it for this week's episode of the Futbol Kaki, brought to you by the Chit Chatter Podcast Network. Now, for those of you who are tuning in, we just want to say thank you, and we hope that you continue to watch our other shows, which of course are the Kopi Bros, every Monday, where we come together and talk about fun and trivial topics. Then, of course, we do have the SG Draft Podcast, our flagship game show, every Friday, where we come together and draft about different topics and have fun while we do it. So, voting begins for all the drafts every Friday at 12 p.m. and closes on a Saturday. So, if you want to have input on who wins the draft, please go over to our Instagram stories and vote. So, with that, bro, before we go, do you have anything else to say or add?
Come on, let's have a Newcastle and Villa top 4.
Yeah. So basically, all the big four all know inside the Champions League.
Yeah. I want to spice things up.
Yes, that will be fun. That will be really, really fun. So, yes. So that is it for this week's episode of the Futbol Kaki. Thank you again for tuning in. Have a great week ahead.